Today we're going to be looking at glazes and talking about how to glaze your glass tile. So once you get your tile out, you're just going to rinse this off under the sink. Just turn the water on and rinse it off a few times. This one is one I've used for demonstrations before, so kind of ignore this side. Then you're going to choose your glaze. So go ahead and get that. You're going to get a piece of newspaper like I have right here and go ahead and cover your table. And you're going to do this at your tables. And you'll be choosing glazes. The glazes are in the windowsill. I'll show you where those are stored at. And they're in sections with their particular brands. This will help you be able to choose the colors. And when you're looking at colors, you'll be able to look at, I have this for the True Flow glazes. They're solid color. I don't have every single one of these, but if you pull one out, you'll be able to see kind of what it will look like. There's also a few, the Amicos are on the back. You can also ask me what they look like too. And I have some of them on sample tiles like this. So if you look at a tile and say you like this one, if you flip it over, that's the camel shade. So you'll be able to look at either one of these. We use the white glaze, I believe, or glaze on this one. If you ever use the red, the names are on the back because they do look a little bit different on the different clays. When you choose your glaze, it's important to shake it up. You want to get everything mixed together because a glaze is a chemical. It's not just a paint. So if there's the watery part, that won't get you the same color as what the actual pigmented part will. So make sure the lid is on before you start doing that. And you want to make sure to get a clean brush. You can use either one of these depending on what you want to do. We have some of those smaller brushes if you're trying to get in smaller areas, but do make sure they're clean. Anytime you switch glazes, even though the glaze part looks the same, you'll want to make sure to clean your brush so we don't mix them together. If you have a yellow glaze and a blue glaze, if you put those both together and tried to mix them up, they won't necessarily make a green. It could make a purple. So just be aware of that. When you're glazing for the glass part, don't glaze where the glass will go. You can do the surface area and you can do the sides. So if I was to do this one, and these will not look the color that they're going to be when they're done. This one's actually kind of a yellow brown, even though when it's going on it's red. So I'm going to go right along the edge, and then I can go right along the side here. You just don't want to get it on the bottom. We'll talk about how to clean that up. If you get glaze on the bottom and you don't wash it off, it will stick to the kiln shelf and it'll ruin the shelf. And the shelves are about $50 a piece. And you don't want one of those. So I'm just going to go along there like that. And you can do whatever design you want to do on this part. Just making sure this is empty. And I'll show you how to do that at a later point. You want a little bit, like a 2 to 3 thin layers. Usually works pretty well for the glazes. When you're all done, so say I'm all done, I'm going to make sure the bottom is clean. This one is pretty clean, but if you're not sure, go ahead and just take a wet sponge, take it to the sink, and go like that, and just make sure that everything's cleaned off. So we don't want it running down the side. Then you're going to take that, put it on your shelf because you're going to hang on to it until you add the glass. If you have any questions, please let me know. Don't get these on your clothes because the glazes will stain. So there's aprons in the back if you need those. Have a good day.